Okay, the first figure is common source amplifier without RS. Alright, in that case this was your gain. Okay, minus GM R0 parallel RD parallel RL, and the overall gain is that AV into RG by RG plus R signal. Alright, and now this term is actually common to both with and without RS. Okay, it is common to both with and without RS. Right, so if I add RS, right, I can see that my gain is actually reducing, okay, by a factor of 1 plus GM into RS. Right, so this is actually a good thing, okay, where I'm trying to improve the bandwidth of the circuit, okay, but the drawback is my gain is getting reduced. So that is okay, it is fine with me. Right, so that is with RS. And common gate amplifier, you can see that the gain is AV is equal to GM into RD parallel RL. Okay, so there is no minus sign here. So what this means is that it is non-inverting. So this is a non-inverting amplifier. Okay, so it is a non-inverting amplifier, and overall gain is GM into RD parallel RL by 1 plus GM into R signal. Right. But the thing about common gate amplifier is its ability to not degrade the input current. So if I take a CG amplifier here, okay, if I take a CG amplifier here, and remember at the input side I have V signal and R signal in series, right? So if I assume them to be a Thevenin's equivalent of a cascaded circuit added before the common gate amplifier, right? Instead of taking Thevenin's equivalent, if I take Norton's equivalent, I will get I signal and R signal both in parallel, right? So that is what this is, this and this, right? Now if I use the current divider rule, if I use a current divider rule, then I the current which needs to be found, which is flowing through Rn, okay, is equal to the parallel combinations of the resistors R signal and Rn divided by the resistance through which that current II is flowing, which is Rn, into I signal, the total current. This is the total current. This is the total current. Right. So here R signal is a value which is very much greater than 1 by GM. Okay. If this is the case, if R signal is very much greater than 1 by GM, then what happens is this II will be almost equal to I signal. Okay. And remember, II, if you look at the figure here, this is II. Okay. And this is ID. Okay. Both of them are same, okay, just opposite in direction, that's all, but both of them are same, right? Then you will have this relation, right? So I signal is same as I drain current, right? So this means that whatever input signal I am getting from the amplifier stage before which is cascaded before the common gate amplifier, okay, the same current is flowing at the output of the common gate amplifier also. Right, so that is why we call common gate as current follower or cascode circuit. We call it as a cascode circuit. We'll study more about cascode circuits much later on when we study current mirrors, right? So these are the three configurations we have studied so far. The one which is left out is common drain amplifier, which we'll see now. Common drain amplifier. Okay, this is also called source follower. Okay, source follower. Right, now let me draw the diagram. So common drain means obvious, the input is given at gate, output is taken at source, and drain is common. I said common, not grounded. Okay, so gate drain is common with respect to both gate and source. Right, so if I draw the diagram, V signal, R signal, then you have CC1, coupling capacitor, then RG, then MOSFET. This source is connected to a biasing current source I, which is given to minus VSS. Right, from here I have CC2, then I have V0, which is connected to RL. Okay, so but my drain is connected to VDD. Okay, it is connected to VDD. See here, drain is connected to VDD. VDD acts as a AC ground, especially when you consider this circuit in AC. If you draw the AC equivalent model of this, obviously VDD is nothing but shorted, so it is basically grounded, right? Then no purpose of having RD. Okay, no purpose of RD, not required, right? Second thing is, you have to observe is, when I draw the AC equivalent of this, RL, the load resistance, is connected in series with the source, right? It is connected in series with the source like this, right? So I can use T model here, right? So RL is in series with the source. Therefore, I can use, using T model. Okay, always remember, keep this as a rule of thumb. Whenever you have a resistance which is in series with the source, okay, instead of using hybrid pi model, you use T model. Okay, this is to make analysis easy, right? So if I write the AC equivalent diagram, AC equivalent circuit diagram. Okay, so I have V signal, plus minus V signal, then I have R signal, capacitor is shorted, so RG is like this, then I have, this is gate, right? So this is 1 by GM, this is again connected to RL. CC2 is shorted, so this is RL. Okay, and this is V0. Here I have a dependent source, I'll call this as I. Okay, and this is connected to ground. Okay, this time let me consider R0. R naught is the resistance between drain and source. So this, call this as R naught. Now I want to measure Rin. Rin is this value. Okay, Rin is this value. Voltage across this would be actually Vi. Okay, R out is this value. Okay, so Rin, I can straight away tell Rin is Rg. Okay, because that is the only resistance which I can see, and obviously, I mean, input I am giving at gate. If I look into the gate, I can see only one resistance, which is Rg, right? So Rin will be Rg. So there, one equation is done. Okay, next. Now I have to find what is Vi. Vi you can know, Rg and R signal. Okay, Rg and R signal both are connected in a voltage divider configuration. So Vi will be V signal into Rg divided by Rg plus R signal. Okay, Rg plus R signal. Now this circuit is common to all the configuration. Common to all configurations. Okay, CS, CG and CD, right? It is common to all configurations. So from this I can write V signal as Vi into Rg plus R signal divided by Rg. Okay, so this will keep it in mind. This is especially useful when I want to calculate GV. Okay, there I will use it. Now copy this. Right, now from this, if I look at this part, okay, if I look at this part, if I look at R naught and RL, okay, how is R naught and RL connected? Anyone? If I look at R naught and RL, how are they connected? Yeah,
They are parallel to each other.
exactly, they are parallel to each other, right? So if I look at only the source side, okay, so in this, if I write it like this, 1 by Gm, and here I have V naught, okay, and here I have R naught, okay, and here I have RL. I'll slightly rearrange R naught and RL, that's all. Okay, so both of them are grounded. Okay, so the voltage across this is actually Vi. See here, okay, it is actually Vi, and the voltage across this is actually V naught, right? So I can say that 1 by Gm and R naught parallel RL, okay, R naught parallel RL behave as a voltage divider pair, voltage divider resistance pair. Okay, so I can write V out as, by looking at that, I can write V out as V naught, sorry, not V out, V naught as Vi into R naught parallel RL divided by R naught parallel RL, R naught parallel RL plus 1 by Gm, okay, plus 1 by Gm. correct? Okay, voltage divider rule, right? So from this I can straight away write AV as V naught by Vi equals to R naught parallel RL divided by R naught parallel RL plus 1 by G. Okay, so this I will put it in a box. Okay. Now there are two things we need to observe from this. Okay, one is let me write the equation again. AV equals to R naught parallel RL divided by R naught parallel RL plus 1 by G. Okay. Now in this equation, if I make if I want to calculate AV naught, if RL is infinite, okay, open circuited gain, open circuited voltage gain, okay, open circuited voltage gain, then AV naught will be simply R naught divided by R naught plus 1 by Gm. Okay, clear, right? It is simple, R naught by R naught plus 1 by Gm, because RL is infinite, so R naught parallel RL will become R naught anyway, right? But here R naught is a value which is actually VA by ID, if you remember. Okay, it comes from the output characteristics, so it is a very large value, very large value. When you compare it with 1 by Gm, R naught is a very large value. So R naught is actually very much greater than 1 by Gm. Okay, then in that case I can simply ignore 1 by Gm. So AV naught will be actually 1. Okay, AV naught will be actually 1. Okay, so this is why we call it as source follower. Okay, this is the reason why we call common drain as source follower. Okay, right, because whatever input you give, because the source follows the input, that is why you call it as source follower. Remember, gate is where we are giving the input, right, and source is where you are taking the output. So since source is following the input, right, we call it a source follower, right? So straight away you can say AV naught is equal to 1. Okay, but if you come back to the original no, this thing again, okay, original AV value, copy, paste it here. Okay, now here there is another issue. What it is see, R naught again is a value which is greater than RL. Okay, R naught is very high value, it is also greater than RL. Again, it depends on how much RL you have taken, but generally speaking R naught is greater than RL. Then in that case, this AV expression will also become RL divided by RL plus 1 by G. Right, so this is another expression you can keep in mind. The base expression is this is the base expression, right? But if you take into consideration two things, okay, one where we find AV naught, okay, AV naught where we make RL as infinite, then you get R naught by R naught plus 1 by Gm. And then R naught is anyway a value which is greater than 1 by Gm, so AV naught becomes 1. Second condition is, in the AV, in voltage gain, R naught is a value which is typically greater than RL. Then in that case, R naught parallel RL becomes RL. So AV is RL by RL plus 1 by GM. Right. So this next thing, AV I have found out. Now I have to find overall gain. So overall gain GV is equal to V naught by V signal. Same thing, V naught by V signal. V signal I can write it as this, Vi into Rg plus R signal divided by Rg. Okay, so this is AV into Rg by Rg plus R signal. Okay, so therefore GV is R naught parallel RL divided by R naught parallel RL plus 1 by GM into Rg by Rg plus Rc. Okay, this is considering no, considering I'm sorry, this GV is considering the actual expression for AV, right, without any assumptions. So this I will put it in a box. Okay, then the last thing which is left out is GV naught. Okay, so GV naught is obviously simply Rg by Rg plus R signal, because AV naught is 1, right, and you are assuming R naught is a value which is very much greater than 1 by G. Okay, if you make all these assumptions and RL to be infinite. Okay, so this is GV naught. Right, so we have found Rn, we have found AV, AV naught, then GV and GV naught. Right, the only thing which is left out is finding R out. Okay, so always remember, while finding out output impedance of any circuit, what we need to do is you always have to remove the sources, input sources. Okay, then you have to calculate output impedance. Right, so when I draw this diagram again, I copy the diagram, this circuit diagram, and this one. Okay, so I copy this. I paste it here. Okay. Now in this, if I remove all my input sources, okay, so here I will write calculation of R out. Okay, so R out is this value, this R out. This is R out. Right, so I have to I can remove, okay, I can remove V signal. I have to short it, so I will remove V signal and I'll replace that with ground. I'm shorting it basically. Right, and obviously if I consider the small signal model, then you will not have CC1, CC2. I have to remove those also. So this is gone, and in current sources is open circuited, so this is gone. Right, this entire thing is gone. So connection like this, connection like this. Now if I replace the MOSFET with the with the T model, right? So I will replace that also. Yeah, this is grounded also. So here you have the current source I. This is ground. And this goes like this. This actually comes to 1 by GM like this. Okay, this is 1 by GM. This is R naught. These both are connected to RL like this. Okay. So if I look at R out here, R out is a value which is measured excluding RL. So it is actually measured between these 2 points, between this point and this point. If I measure R out like this is what R out is. Okay. Then I can see 2 resistances. Apart from that, another thing I want to mention here is, and since anyway we are calculating R out, I don't need this I resistance also. Okay, remember, whenever you should not have any sources in your circuit whenever you are measuring output impedances. So this I is also gone. It is short open circuit. So if that is gone, so this entire thing becomes open circuit. Okay. Then in that case, I can say that R out is a parallel combination of R naught and 1 by GM. Okay, R naught is a parallel combination of R out is a parallel combination of R naught and 1 by GM. Remember, this 1 by GM is also connected to ground. This 1 by GM is also connected to ground. This like this or like this. It is also connected to ground. R naught is also connected to ground, and both of them join at this tip. Alright. So now obviously R naught and R 1 by GM are parallel. So R out will also be the same thing. R naught parallel 1 by GM. Then again, if I consider R naught to be a very greater value compared to 1 by GM, then R out will be close to 1 by GM. Okay. So I'll put this in a box. Right. So if you look at common drain characteristics, okay, common drain characteristics, gain has no minus sign. So it means that gain is the amplifier is non-inverting. First thing. Second thing is voltage gain which we get. It is AV naught. It is almost close to 1. So it is a unity gain unity voltage gain amplifier, also called as source follower. Third thing, this amplifier is essentially used in multi-stage amplifiers, where I'm cascading one amplifier after another, right? This is especially used in the in the last stage of the amplifier, last stage of the cascading amplifier. Say for example, if I have like this amplifier 1, and amplifier 2, and amplifier 3. Okay, typically this stage is always common drain. Okay, why? Because its input impedance is a high value. It is Rg. Rin is Rg. Okay, Rin is Rg, and Rg, you know, it is in mega ohms. Okay, it is a very high value. So input impedance is high, but output impedance, okay, output impedance is very low. Okay, R out is very low, not very low, it is low, right? Typically GM is in the order of milli Siemens. Okay, Siemens here is ampere per voltage. Okay, or mho, opposite of ohm, right? So when I do that, R out will be in order of kilo ohms. So when you compare it to R in, okay, obviously it is a less value, right? So common drain is provides very high input impedance and less output impedance, and it is particularly used in the output stage of a cascaded amplifier stage, multi-stage amplifier, because it will not it will actually help in impedance matching. Okay, it will actually help in impedance matching, and anyway its voltage gain is 1, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, I don't have to worry about my gain. Okay, I don't have to worry about my signal being degraded at the output, so no worries there. Alright, so this is common drain. Right, any queries you have till here? Any queries? Right, then in that case we'll solve one problem and we'll wrap up this class. Right, so this is actually the end of your second module. Okay, we have not solved any problems in the second module, not even one. Right, so probably the next two classes we'll spend on solving problems. Okay, I'll give you some problem sets also. You can go through, you can solve them. Okay, more problems you solve, the better you'll understand. Better you'll understand the concept. Okay, so okay, so your first problem. Okay, we've taken a very simple problem. Problem 1. Okay, so circuit is this, plus minus VGS. This is capital VGS. This goes to a MOSFET. This is grounded. This is VDD, RD. No, this is VD. Right, so data which is given data is VDD is equal to 5 volts, then RD is 10 kilo ohms, VT is 1 volt, gain prime, okay, that is 20 micro amps per volt square, W by L is 20, aspect ratio is 20, VGS, capital VGS, okay, this is not the input signal, it is the bias gate source voltage, right? So that is 2 volts, and lambda is 0, means no channel length modulation. Okay, so what is asked to find is okay, first thing, ID, VD, okay, drain current and drain voltage. Okay, again both of them are bias currents and voltages. Second thing, GM and voltage gain. Okay, third one, if VG is 0.2 sine omega t. Okay, VG is a signal which has this 0.2 sine omega t. Then what is VD? Okay, what is the output voltage? Then fourth one is also asked to find various components of ID. Okay, now ID here is instantaneous current, instantaneous drain current. Okay, now it is a combination of this and this. Okay, so that is what is asking. And fifth one is find find the second harmonic distortion. Second harmonic distortion. Okay, in ID. Again, ID is instantaneous drain current. Right. So pretty huge problem. Okay, but very simple. Right. So let us go about this step by step. Solution. Right. So first I have to find ID and VD. Okay. So ID I can straight away write this formula. ID as half Kn prime W by L VGS minus VT whole square. Okay. All the values are given. So half 20 micro into 20 into VGS is 2 volts minus 1 whole square, VT is 1. So this will turn out to be 0.2 milliamps. Okay, this is 0.2 milliamps. And if you look at the diagram, okay, ID I have done. Okay, so this is done. Now I have to find VD. So VD I can use KVL in this direction. Alright. So VDD minus IDRD minus VDS. Okay, and since source is directly connected to ground, VD and VDS both are same, right, is equal to 0. So from this, VDS is equal to VD is equal to 5 minus, so ID is 0.2 milli into 10 kilo ohms. Okay, so that will turn out to be 3 volts. Okay, so ID and so first part of the problem done. ID and VD is found. Okay, so this and this is done. Second part, GM and AV. GM and AV. Okay, this one again GM you can straight away use this formula Kn prime W by L. This and all we have done. Okay, VGS minus VT. Okay, this we have proved. So this is 20 micro into 20 into VGS minus VT is 2 minus 1. So that should give me 0.4 millisiemens. Okay, AV is minus GM into RD parallel R0. Okay, since we don't have R0 here, right, this is, and R0 is a R0 is appears only when you have lambda. Since lambda is 0, it is given lambda is 0. Since lambda is 0, so there will not be a R0. R0 will be infinite. So this is actually minus GM into RD. So minus 0.4 milli into RD, 10 kilo. So this will actually be minus 4. Right? Simple. Now, third part of the problem. Third part says find VG, find VD, small v and small d, if VG is 0.2 sin omega t. So now remember, VDS is same as VD. Okay, right. If you actually draw the sine wave. Okay, if you draw the sine wave, this is VGS. Okay, this is capital VGS. So it will be like this. So this is 0.2. It says that VGS is 0.2 sin omega t. Right. So this is 0.2. Okay. If I draw VDS, okay, it will be like this. This is capital VDS, and this value actually will be GMRD into this value 0.2. Okay, so VD here is therefore VDS or VD here is minus, not minus, just GMRD into 0.2, which is 0.8. Okay, so and sin omega t, right? But forgot sin omega t totally. Therefore, VD I can write it as minus 0.8 sin omega t. Right, minus because it is inverting. So minus, but the amplitude is 0.8. So minus 0.8 sin omega t. Right. Then if you remember, VDS we found it to be 3 volts. Okay, VDS we found it to be 3 volts. VDS and VD both are same again. This 3 volts. Then in that case, this value, see this difference I have found out. This difference is actually 0.8, right? Right. Then in that case, VDS max will be 3 plus 0.8, which is 3.8 volts. Okay, this VDS min is actually 3 minus 0.8, which is 2.2 volts. Okay, since you are drawing the waveform, you should know what is the peak values, right? That is what we have done here. So this value here is VDS max, this value is VDS min, and I know from peak to peak it is 0.8 plus 0.8, right? So from 3, if you add 0.8, you will get VDS max. If you subtract 0.8, you will get VDS min. So 3.8 and 2.2. The final one is various components of ID. Okay, that is the only thing which is left. We'll finish that and we'll wrap up. Okay, that is the 4th one, right? 4th one. Right. 4th one, instantaneous current ID. So this is half Kn prime W by L V, capital V, small g n s minus Vt whole square. Right. So remember, we have done this derivation. So half into 20 micro into 20 into, I will write capital VGS as this plus VGS minus Vt whole square. Right. So this will be 0.2 milli into capital VGS is 2 volts. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So and small VGS I can write it as 0.2 sin omega t. It is already given, plus 1 whole square. Right. This is a quadratic equation. Solve it. So this you will get it as 0.2 milli plus 0.08 milli sin omega t plus 0.08 milli sin square omega t. Okay, now it says that these are the various components of ID. Okay, you have omega, you have sin square, sin term, you have sin square term. But the 5th part of the question says find second harmonic distortion. Second harmonic means any if you take any frequency, it has various harmonics, right? One is the natural frequency omega, then along with that you will have 2 omega, 3 omega, 4 omega and so on. Okay, those are your natural frequencies. Here you have sin square term. Okay, it is still omega, so this you convert it to 2 omega term. Okay, so you have to use some trigonometry here. Okay, convert to 2 omega term. Okay, so 5th one here is ID equals to 0.2 milli plus 0.08 milli sin omega t plus 0.08 milli 0.008, sorry, milli sine square omega t. So this I will convert 0.2 milli plus 0.08 milli sine omega t, okay, plus 0.008 milli sine square omega t is 1 minus cos omega t by 2. Like I said, this is a huge problem only. Right, so further you solve it. So if I take it this side, 0.2 milli plus 0.008 milli by 2, this is the DC part, plus 0.08 milli sine omega t plus minus 0.008 milli by 2 into cos 2 omega t. Okay. Now this is fundamental frequency. Fundamental frequency. This is second harmonic. Okay. So percentage d2. Okay. It is amplitude of second harmonic by mod of amplitude of fundamental frequency. Fundamental frequency. So from here it should, you should straight away tell. So this is 0.008 milli divided by 2 by 0.08. Okay, so from this you will get 0.05. Okay, so it is just 5%. That's it. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, I'll upload this video. You can, if you have queries, you can always revisit and look at this again. Alright, if you have any queries, let me know. We'll stop now. In the next class, next two classes, we'll look at more problems. Okay. All right then. Any queries? Then in that case, so some students had doubts about that NAC survey.